Hello, 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 everyone. This is your girl, Michelle, with Girlz Talk, Real Talk, because when girls talk, just about anything can happen. So we have a wonderful guest with us today. I'm going to be bringing her on in a second. But first, I want to thank everyone that participated in the Mother's Day giveaway for single mothers. That giveaway brought in some wonderful gifts. We had two winners that we are going to be announcing more information about over the weekend when we're actually passing out their gift baskets to them. So any one of the individuals that actually participated as a sponsor, I will be getting with you so that you'll have the information necessary in order to get your free advertisement on the podcast and on our business page. So without further ado, I am going to bring up Sheetal Kurup. She is our guest for today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad that you are here with us today. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Oh, thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Sheetal Kurup. I like to call myself a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm an event planner, wedding planner, an event designer, and also a balloon professional. And currently, I'm studying for my certification in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, EFT, hypnotherapy, time techniques, and life and success coaching. Because eventually, my goal is to be a coach in the manifestation mindset field and help a lot of people all over the world with all the things I have learned in my journey so far. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, I'm excited to have you here. So I'm going to jump right in because I thought it was very, very interesting in the reason that you said that you want to be a coach. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were talking about the spiritual awakening that you had had in your own personal life. So why don't you share that with our audience?
Yeah, sure. I would be happy to share my journey. So let me take you back. I actually was born and brought up in India. I came here in 2003 after I got married to my husband. It was a love marriage. We met when I was working in the software company in the legal department, and he was in the IT. And when I came here in 2003, I couldn't officially work because I was on a spouse visa. So then what we decided was, since I cannot work, let's start a family. Let's focus our time in raising our girls. So I had two daughters, and it was the best time for me raising my girls, and being in this country, learning about the culture, exploring the places. So I had the best time. And as my girls were growing up, I started throwing birthday parties for them. And I really enjoyed it. And every time I would come up with different themes for their birthdays. And my friends started noticing that they told me that you're so good. Every time we come to your parties, everything is very different. It's a very beautiful experience for us. And we always look forward to when you're going to invite us for your parties. And that transition to arranging baby showers, for my friends. And it so happened that the husbands would then later on come to me and they would approach me and tell me, Sheetal, are you available? Let's plan a baby shower for my wife. And I want to surprise her. And that led to like one shower to another shower, and I was actually having a blast, enjoy, like, planning, coming up with this whole theme for the showers, getting people together, coming up with different ideas. And I found out my passion in that way. And what happened was at one of the baby showers, one of the guests at my friend's baby shower, they asked her, like, "Did you hire a event planner for your shower?" And my friend said, "No, it's my friend Sheetal who's done this." And so that gave me that confidence, that if people are noticing it, that means there is something for me, and I should seriously consider this. But at the same time, I was very confused because I was a lawyer, and I always felt that I had this analytical, logical brain. I didn't feel myself that I was a creative. I didn't think I was creative, and I was never good at drawing. Like my drawing, my family would laugh whenever I could hardly draw, and whatever I drew, my husband, my family, they would laugh like, "What is this you're drawing?" So I had that belief like, "Oh my god, I cannot even draw, and how can I start a creative business?" And I actually am a very religious and a very spiritual person. So what I did was at the time, I whenever there is any problem, or there is a moment of doubt or confusion in my life, I always like to seek guidance from the higher power. You may call it the universe, you may call it God, whatever you believe in. And the practice which I follow in my family is, in moments of doubt, I will put questions on a piece of paper, and then I will put that in front of my God. So I'm a Hindu, and we have like lots of gods in our Hindu culture, where I believe in a particular god. He's called Shirdi Sai Baba. So what I did was I had this few questions in paper, and I put it in front of my idol in the temple. We have like a small altar in the house, and the questions were: should I go into event planning and management, or should I be a teacher? Because my husband, he thought I could be a good teacher, because when my kids were growing up, I was very good in teaching them when they were like babies. I taught them sign language so they could communicate like when they were babies. And then as they were growing up, when they became like 3.5 years old, I taught them how to read. So they were very proficient in reading at a very young age. Even the teachers were surprised. So my husband saw that in me, and he said, "You're really good in teaching kids and getting that. So why don't you consider that as a career too?" So I was like, okay, but I was really confused. I was like, I didn't know what to do, because I know I was a lawyer. I have this law background. I had invested so much time, when I was studying, and I was working in India prior to coming to the US. And then I know I found my passion. I know that events is something which really lights me up. And then I know I'm good at teaching kids. So I had this dilemma, I had this phase in my life, and I had to make a decision. Uh, so then I put fits, these two pieces of paper in front of my idol. And what I did was I asked my younger daughter, we just prayed for guidance. And then my younger daughter came and just picked one note from there. And the answer was, be an event planner, go into event management. And I was like, okay, this is it. And I follow completely. Like, I just follow blindly whatever the answer came. And that's what I do. Even now, I follow that. So now the answer came, okay, I have to go into event management. So now I had a question. In event management, there are so many things you can do. You can be an event planner, you can be a wedding planner, you can be an event designer, and you can also go and do balloons. And I was confused again, like, what should I do? But I knew somehow in the core of my heart that design is something I'm very passionate about. To transform the room into something beautiful, so that when the guests arrive, they should be like, wow, because that's the first thing they see, the design, the decor. And I knew this was something I'm very passionate about, so I just followed that. I just, there's this inner voice which kept telling me that, okay, do this, okay, let's go for design. So then I went and enrolled in IWED, which is the Institute of Wedding and Event Design. I did my certification. I learned all about draping and how to create beautiful wedding decor. That led me to go and do balloons, which is like, because I was thinking, if I have to kids children's parties, you definitely need to have some kind of balloon decor, because what's a children's party without like having balloons in there? So then my intuition guided me, like, I was just searching, like, online, and then suddenly this popped up. There is a balloon training in Tampa, Florida, and I was very excited. I said, oh my God, this is it. This is exactly what I need to learn. So I flew to Tampa, Florida. I went and learned balloon decor. And now I was very confident. I said, now I have the tools with me because initially when I was planning for my friends or for my kids, it was just whatever naturally I could do, or I could Google and then go to Michael's, get whatever the papers and just make the decor. That was my level of experience. But now I was very professionally trained. So I was more confident now that yes, I can take on clients, I can do the events confidently. And that's how I launched my business in 2017. And it was the best time because that was like after a decade, like after being a stay at home mom, that was the first time I actually started doing something of my own, which really, like, made me very happy. And I was very, very, very busy in the first 2 years of my business because I had to grow the business. And I came from a family where I'm the first entrepreneur because all my family members, they either like have a job working in India. So nobody was in the business as such. So I had to learn everything by myself. And my intuition kept guiding me, okay, now go for this training, learn these business skills because I had to learn how to market my services, how to put systems and processes in the business and how to handle the clients, how best I can serve them. So I went through a journey and it was amazing. And for the 2 years, I was listening to podcasts, reading a lot of books because I knew I had to be a better version of myself if I had to be the best at my business. And I owe a lot of my success to my intuition and my faith because it really guided me in my business to do the things at the right time. And that led to me making like six figures in my business in 3 years. So I was very, very proud of that. But the flip side was there was a burnout too, because events is a very, very stressful job. I was working most weekends. My timings were off because events were like they would run till 2 a.m., till morning. I had to go late nights, strike it down. And when you're a new entrepreneur, you tend to do everything by yourself, being an entrepreneur. You know how hard it is, that journey initially, right? So then I was doing all that. And I gained the success. I had the money. I got my financial independence. I was so proud. I could buy something out of my own money for my husband, for my kids. I had that independence, that joy I had. But then the flip side was that I was getting very stressed. My health was like getting deteriorated because then I was neglecting my health with staying up late nights, crazy hours, just eating whatever, you know how it is in the initial stages of business. You don't take care of yourself. And then I started having these questions, that I felt this was like a Pyrrhic victory for me. Though I had success, though I had that financial independence, but there's somewhere I was not happy because I was like, is this the way business is done? Is this like, do you have to hustle? Or do you have to really work hard and all these long hours? Is there no better way of doing things? I started having these questions. And then I read this book, which is called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waters. And that was kind of my spiritual awakening. And I realized that I don't have to work these long hours. I don't have to hustle in my business. There is an easier way out. We live in an abundant universe. There is so much abundance around us. Nature is abundant. When you look outside, there are so many trees, and even in our life can be abundant and we can have everything with ease and alignment. And that's when started having these shifts in my mindset. And then I realized, one book led to the other. It was basically like, my spirit guides, just guiding me. After that book, then I was introduced to the movie Secret. Before that, trust me, I didn't even know about manifestation, law of attraction. And I was introduced to the concepts of manifestation, how the universe works, and how the energy works. And as the more I got introduced to it, I felt, oh my God, I am a very powerful creator. The universe, I can work with the universe, I can work with the universal energy, the principles, and I can co-create the life for myself the way I want it. It doesn't have to be this hustle, it can be with ease and with alignment. And once I started these practices like meditating regularly, like making sure my energy is guarded, and I realized my event business became very smooth. Like I let go of all the hustle. I don't have to like work with all the clients. Initially, I was like, whatever, whichever clients came to me, I was like accepting it. But now, no, I will work on my schedule. when I feel like I need to take these clients, I do that now. And trust me, I only do like very limited marketing, but I always meditate. And in meditation, I call my soulmate clients. I always pray to the universe. The clients who are meant to work with me and who can benefit from my service, and I'm meant to serve them, let them come to me. I'll be more than happy to serve them. And you won't believe it, every time I come up from meditation, the very next day, my inbox is flooded with inquiries. And I'm always like wondering, where do these clients come from? And it's like they find me somewhere on internet and on Google search, or some of my previous clients have referred them to me. But yes, now I feel so much at ease and so much at peace in my business. And that was my kind of like spiritual awakening. And also then I started having this thought that, okay, I have learned so much. I have grown so much in the past 4 years of my business. Now is the time that I should take whatever I have learned and help other people, other entrepreneurs. Because everybody feels that business is tough, business is hard, you have to work hard, you have to hustle. And I want to show them you don't have to. You can build your business, you can build your life with ease and alignment. There are things you can do to make your life easier. So that's what my goal is now, to get all these things which I have learned, these principles, and now help people all over the world. And my next goal is to launch an online business, because of which, for which I am now studying. Doing my certifications in neuro linguistic programming and life and success coaching, so that I'm armed with the tools and I can actually go and help people. I can combine the tools which I've learned and my experience, bring them together, and go and help people going forward.
That's very, very interesting. You brought up some very good points that I want to make sure that we talk a little bit more about in what you were sharing. The very first thing that you talked about was the passion. You had the passion to do the event planning, even though you had already been educationally trained as an attorney. And due to visa status and all that, you could not work in that chosen field. So now you're faced with, what am I going to do now?
Right. Exactly.
Being able to find that passion and that thing that you love. I think a
Right.
lot of times we fail to tap into that, to understand that everything we need, we already have within us. The
Within us.
key to it is being able to pull it out, being in tune, because intuition is just being in tune with who you are spiritually,
Right.
so that you can bring it out in your everyday life.
Right, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I want to mention this, that when I came to the US, I did have questions, because I knew I couldn't work legally, like, for at least 10 years. Because after that, I got my citizenship. We became like, residents, and then I got my citizenship. So it was a long process. It took a lot of time. But in the meantime, and I would always think about, these questions would come to me like, what should I do? Since I have a law background, should I go and, start training in the US? Should I become a paralegal, start that way, or should I start with some law courses? But my intuition, that there was always this small inner voice in me which said, no, be in the service industry, be in the service industry. And I would always like wonder, what is in the service industry I'm meant to do? I was not clear at that time, and this voice kept going on inside me for a number of years. And then how the universe will like arrange the events for you to discover. So that's what it happened. Once I had my girls, I naturally like, okay, let's arrange the birthday parties. It's fun. And that's how I started discovering that, oh my god, this is really fun. I can create these themes and bring people together. Give them this great experience. Not only that, we also had like a yearly religious prayer ceremony in our house, and I would decorate the whole house with flowers. The moment you enter the house, it would be like flowers on the wall, and I would create these huge backdrops. And then at a time, like 100 people would come together under one roof. And people started telling me that, Sheetal, we really look forward to this ceremony every year. What are you doing next year? And what I would do is, every year the decor would be different, the food would be different. So the whole experience was different for them. And I realized, oh my God, this is what it is. I like to bring people together and give them this sensory experience so that they will remember always. And even now, like I was in California at the time when I was doing it, now I'm in New Jersey. Even now, people from California, all my friends, they still remember my events. And I feel, oh my God, that's it, I have given them memories for life. And that's what I do as an event planner. Give my clients the memories for life. So yes, intuition is like does play a big role, and it's so important, to follow your passion, whatever lights you up, whatever you feel pulled towards, whatever makes you happy, just go for it. And you will actually find out, what you're meant to do.
I like what you said there. You found it. It wasn't that you had to go searching for it, but it presented itself in your everyday life and the things that you were doing. And I
Right.
think that's the thing that trips most of us up. We think we have to go finding this mysterious thing, but it's already on the inside of us. But I wanted to go back to something that you said that I thought
Mhm.
was key. Well, there were actually three things that you said.
Mhm.
The very first thing that you said is that you went through the necessary training
Mhm.
to understand and to know how to do what your passion was leading you to do
Right.
and create an even better experience for your clients.
Right.
Because I know I've got a good friend of mine that's in event planning, and
Mhm.
it is about the experience.
Right.
It's not really about the decor. It's
Mhm.
not really about the food. It's
Right.
not totally about the people, but it's all of those things brought together
Right.
that creates a memory
Right.
that
That's
that
true.
individual will carry for the rest of their lives, because those are the things that we hold on to. So you had talked specifically about the educational part, that
Right.
you didn't just jump out there and say, oh, I'm passionate about this, I'm going to go do this, but you actually went after the certifications, you went after the trainings that you needed to
Right.
make sure that the service industry that you were going into, you were prepared.
Right. Absolutely. I wanted to be prepared. And the other thing why I consider the trainings or any certification important is instead of you trying to figure it out by yourself by trial and error and wasting those many errors, those many years, you can shortcut your success. If you can learn from somebody because somebody has an experience, they've been through that. They have like a decade worth of experience. And from decade, if they can give it to you like in a few months, you are armed with those skills, with that knowledge, and then you can propel your success forward. You can use that to launch whatever you want to do. So I always believe that any training, any certification, or even just learning from a mentor or from anybody is so important, to bring that edge to your business or your life. And that's the reason now I know my calling is to go and help people, to coach them. And that's why I was like, okay, if this is my calling, I need to go and learn from somebody. What are the skills, coaching skills? What are the questions I need to ask? What are the tools I need to have in my belt so that I can better serve them, rather than me trying to figure it out and learning from here and there, wasting my time. It's just that somebody has already done it. There is already a model of success. So I just have to go learn from them and then repeat it, and then obviously add my flair, to it. That's what I believe in.
Now, you had said something that I think a lot of business owners fall into,
Mhm.
the self care part of it.
Yeah.
You're so busy hustling, running the business, doing everything that you need to do in order to get that financial security, that
Right.
independence that comes with the 5 and 6 figure incomes.
Mhm.
But you had said that you knew something was missing, and
Right.
it was the self care part that was missing.
That's right.
And so, how important was that for you on your journey?
It was very important for me because I don't know. I don't think I've mentioned this. After I had my first daughter, I was diagnosed with a Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So Hashimoto's basically is an autoimmune condition where your body attacks your thyroid gland. So when I was diagnosed with that condition for many number of years, I was going through a lot of exhaustion. I was going a lot of depression. My brain was foggy. I didn't have any clarity or purpose in life, and I came out of that. I did a lot of intervention, self care, took care of my diet, the supplements which I had to take, and I got on track. And then after that, I started my business. And again, I was so excited with the initial, the phase of my building my business, and I neglected self care. And then I realized that I started putting on weight. I didn't have energy. I was not, functioning at my prime. And it didn't make me happy, because for me, my health was important, because of the fact I knew that I had a Hashimoto's condition. And that was the reason when I decided that it cannot be like this. Things have to change. There has to be a better way of doing business. And that's when I decided to pay a lot of attention to my health, and also work in my business, but not at the cost of my health.
And that's important. I think that that is something that is important for business owners to understand, that you can work your business, but not to the extent that it isolates you from family, from loved ones, and it suffers with your health. You
Right.
start. There's a friend of mine, Melanie,
Mhm.
that says, "How you do one thing is how you do everything."
That's right. Yeah.
And she says that so often that it's kind of embedded in my head and my mind,
Right.
for us to understand that if we slow down
Hmm.
and if we get in contact with who we are,
Right.
if
Hmm.
we get in contact with our spiritual side of
Hmm.
ourselves,
Right.
then we have a better opportunity to step into the realm that we need to be in
Hmm.
order for those things to find us.
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer that whatever you put out into the universe is what you get back. So
Yes.
if all I'm doing is hustling, running my business, and doing this, that's what I'm going to get back. Although my business may increase,
Hmm.
I'm not putting any of the other stuff in there. I'm
Right.
not doing family. I'm not doing the things that make me feel good about life. I'm not building those memories. I'm
Right.
not doing any of that. And so I think that that's very important, that we understand that, people want to say it this way: I need a work life balance. Well, I don't
Hmm.
know about anybody else, but I have yet to figure out the work life balance. But I do know that when I'm in connection with who I am spiritually,
Hmm.
I'm at peace.
Right. Exactly. I totally, absolutely agree with that. Because when you're at peace, you are happy, you are in that positive vibration. And when you are in the positive vibration, what happens is, in the universal law, like attracts like. And when you're vibrating at that frequency, you're going to attract those opportunities to you. You're going to attract those people to you, and it's going to help you in your business and life. Rather than like hustling, staying busy, you're putting that energy, the energy of hustle. And so instead of that, put out the energy of peace and happiness, and be aware, be present in the moment, and absolutely will change your life and your business. And that was my spiritual awakening when I realized these principles. And now I make sure that I guard my energy. I'm always positive. I don't listen to negative news that much. It's very limited. Once a week I'll just catch up to see what's happening. But yes, everything is so focused on keeping myself happy. If I can watch some videos which make me laugh and smile, I'm all for it. Listening to podcasts which will motivate me, listening to other mentors, reading good books, on spirituality and energy and all these things. And then I'm always surrounded by these thoughts. And because of that, I'm putting that energy out in the world. And I'm seeing the feelings coming back to me. And that's the reason I'm feeling so much at peace and ease in my life now.
I think that that is important, that people understand that. So I want to jump in on something else that you said,
Mm-hmm.
because I believe in this. I believe
Mm-hmm.
in the understanding and the principle of manifestation. I
Right.
don't think people really totally understand
Right.
that it's the whole concept that if I can believe it, then I can achieve it. But I
Mm-hmm.
have to manifest it.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something key that I do as well. I meditate. And so and sometimes it's guided meditation. Sometimes I just allow my mind to experience whatever is trying to come in, and then
Mm-hmm.
allow it to freely go out. So let me make something very clear to
Mm-hmm.
individuals that may be watching and listening. Meditation is not where you try to clear your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That is impossible. You'll never clear your mind. Meditation is when you allow the thoughts to present themselves to you, to
Right.
show up in your spiritual place, to
Mm-hmm.
present themselves to you, And then once they present themselves to you, they can go off the scene so that you can thereby begin to manifest those things that you want in your life. So if it's more peace that you want in your life, or more love that you want in your life, then you begin to meditate on those things. And then what you'll find is the very things that you're meditating on will literally show up in your life.
Yeah.
And that's the manifestation part. And so
Right.
I am a big, even with my clients that I work with that are writing their books, when we have our weekly sessions, the very first thing that we do is a mindfulness exercise. And it is a guided meditation, because I need you to be present in the moment of what we're doing. I don't need everything else that you're dealing with outside of our meetup to interfere in what's going on. But that's what we don't do. We do not prepare ourselves for the day. We don't prepare ourselves for what is to come next. And that's that manifestation. So when I get up in the morning, I journal, I meditate, I pray, I have a Bible study I participate in. There are different things that I do to prepare myself for that day. And then when I'm in those places like you were, where I'm unsure of what I'm going to do next, or something is coming at me and I'm like, okay, God, I don't know. I'm not for sure. It never fails that when I get into that mindfulness place, when I begin to meditate and I begin to put those questions on him, and I begin to allow myself to receive the answers back from him, there has never been a time that I haven't practiced this, even in my thinking in the midst of a prayer. And I'm like, okay, God, we've got this came up and that came up. We need some more clients to come on board. We need this. I promise you, within a day or two, I've got clients that are showing up, that are wanting to work with me. And so this is what you do. You prepare yourself. We got to get away from that, like you said, that hustler's mentality. Because if you hustle, you'll always hustle.
Right. That's true.
But if you manifest, then you leave yourself room in order to enjoy life as you are receiving whatever it is that you're asking to be manifested in your life.
Right. That's so important. The fact that you should be able to receive is that something not everybody is able to do that. You should be comfortable to receive what the universe is sending it to you. And the way you start is with simple things, even in your life with your friends. If somebody is offering to buy you a coffee, let them buy that for you. If somebody is offering you a compliment, don't deflect it, just accept it. Because sometimes even I was like that, somebody would compliment me. I was like, no, it's, no, that's fine. If they compliment my t-shirt or my top, I said, no, yeah, that's okay. I just got it from here, rather than just accept it, be grateful for that and give them thanks. And when you're in that energy of receiving it, you open yourself to receiving a lot of things from the universe. And that's very important to learn that. And I had to learn these things when I started on my spiritual journey. And now I'm so open to receiving, and I see the miracles, happening in my life. And the clients are coming in, the money is coming in, the opportunities are coming in. So yeah, I am very happy that, that I'm able to do that now. And I just love every part of it.
So I'm enjoying our conversation because it's really showing us a different aspect, because let's face it, in our culture in the United States, it is hustle, 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 get the dollar. Right. So we are always chasing after that dollar instead of living our lives and manifesting those things in our lives. But you had said something in your bio that I thought was key, and opposed me trying to remember it off of my top of my head. You had said that my intuition guided me to serve my community in the pandemic with yard balloons, which skyrocketed your business.
Absolutely.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so that story is amazing. Even I'm amazed till date what happened. So last year, as you know, the pandemic started in March, right? And in the events week, all the events were canceled. So I didn't have anything to do. And so what I decided that time was, I have some courses I have signed up for. I'm only going to do my courses, I'm going to meditate. and I'm going to accept the way it is rather than worrying, oh my God, there are no events and, when the money will come from. I didn't even worry on that aspect, the money or the events. I just wanted to be in my vibration of putting those positive feelings and thoughts and making the most of my time now, because now I have time. Okay, let's focus on reading all these books which I have to finish, and let's focus on finishing the courses. And when I was doing one of the course, I was reading about marketing, and they said this course is by Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. It's called the Knowledge Broker Blueprint Course. And the marketing module said that you're doing a great disservice to people if you don't share your talents and skill with others. And when I read that, I was like, a light bulb, moment I had in my head. And I was like, oh my God, I have the skills of being a balloon artist, being a balloon designer, and I can share this with my community. There is something, and people are in that need right now. Everybody is like stuck at home, they are depressed. And so what I started was, what I did was, where I live in my front yard, I started displaying balloon decor. So I built like huge balloon arches, with rainbow colors and like flower balloons, and I started displaying in my yard. And then we have a Facebook group of a community, and I just sent a message. And then we have like an email chain for our community where I live. And I sent a message to everybody like, hey, I have these balloons displayed. I know everybody's stuck at home, we cannot go out, but feel free to drive by, get your kids, I'm sure you love the balloons. And people were like so happy. They all texted me like, thanks for doing this, because we really enjoy seeing the colorful balloons. They really like, brought us happiness. They really cheered us up. We got a reason to come out of the house because we all were stuck at home. We couldn't go anywhere. And at least it gave them a reason to just drive by, see the balloons, be happy for that time, take pictures, and go away to their homes. And I got a great response. So I did it like 2-3 times. And then one father knocked my door, and he said, it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, and I've been like trying to find some balloons for her. Everything is closed, Party City is closed. Can you help me, because I saw you have displayed balloons outside your house? And I was like, yeah, I'll be more than happy to help you. When is the birthday? So he said, it's tomorrow. I said, yeah, that's fine, no worries. I'll make something for your daughter, and I'll leave it outside my door. You can come and pick it up in the morning. And that's what I did. I created like a beautiful display for his daughter, and I left it outside my door. I left a note for him. And he came, he took the balloons, because when I came out, I saw the balloons were gone. So I was very happy I was able to help him. And then that gave me the idea that I said, oh my God, there are so many people, they're stuck at home. They have so many celebrations. They have birthdays, they have anniversaries. And now since events are cancelled, they cannot do anything, but how will they celebrate? And then I like, okay, we can do the yard displays for their house, outside the house. I can come and put balloons outside. And then I started advertising in my community, the same Facebook group and the email chain. I send them a message that, hey, like, I really want to help everybody. I can provide balloons. If you have any celebrations coming up, please contact me and I'll come and set it up in the yard. It'll be like a no contact, completely COVID free, like no contact setup. And it'll be absolutely safe. I'll come wearing a mask and I'll set it up outside. And once I'm gone, you can come take pictures. And you can see even from the window of your house. I'll set it up in such a way. And that was like a big success. People they were like so happy that they were able to get this service, for their loved ones. They all contacted me, and daily I was getting like 335, 40 inquiries, and there were like 8-9 orders every day. I was going out and setting it up. So my sales skyrocketed. I had like whatever I'd earned in the last 2-3 years, I earned that much amount of money in 2 months. That was the amount of business I generated. And I was very busy. Every day I would go out, set up. But I was more happy that I was able to bring, that happiness to people, that joy to people, that I was able to provide the balloons, And when you display the colorful balloons outside in your yard, it makes the people, and even the people who are driving by, it makes them so happy. Because when I was displaying balloons outside my house, and we have a hospital where I live, and my house is on the main road, there's a lot of traffic. So a lot of people came and told me that thanks for displaying this, because my parents were admitted in the hospital, and every time I would drive by your house, I would see the colorful balloons and it would really cheer me up. So thank you so much for doing that. So I was very happy to give that joy and be of service in those times to my community and people around.
That is awesome. I'm sitting here trying to think, and I don't think anyone that I know that knows how to do balloons have come up with that concept. So I think that is indicative only to you. And kudos to you for stepping into that space of service, because I think a lot of times we forget that as business owners, we serve. We serve our community and we serve our clients. And however that is, it's about that passion. You know, we do those things that we feel like we need to do, but when you do something that you're passionate about, it's not work.
It's not work at all. Yeah, it's just, it feels so easy and it gives you so much joy. And as I mentioned, now when I look back to my journey, my my story, as I mentioned, when I came to the US, my intuition kept telling me, go in the service industry, go in the service industry. I was meant to serve. This is the way I was meant to serve. So I'm very happy I followed that voice, and I'm so happy to the universe that it showed me these events, because of which I was able to find out, what I'm passionate about and genuinely help people, especially in the pandemic. So yeah, it's been a great journey for me so far.
So what's next for you? What are you looking at doing? I know that you had mentioned that you're interested in getting into some coaching.
Mhm.
So what is that going to look like for you going forward?
Yeah, so I'm very excited for the next phase of my business. So what I want to do is I want to first finish my certifications, and then I want to launch an online business where I want to do group coaching, help other people, other entrepreneurs, build some courses for them, so that whatever I have learned in these many years, I can bring them. So my knowledge is condensed, and I can give them in few months, so they can fast track their success. They don't have to go through what I went through. So that's my goal of launching some group programming and some online courses for them.
So what are your daughters thinking about everything that you're doing?
Oh, they love it. They are so proud of their mom, and they always tell me. And they were also a big help, in the pandemic, because I couldn't hire people, because I was working from my home basement, and I had to do everything by myself, like go set it up the balloons and then come back. And so my daughters were a big help. My husband was a big help during that time. Now I do have help, I can hire them. But that time everything was closed, and how scared we all were. We had to maintain that distance from everybody. So they were a great help for me, and they've always been by my supporters, even my husband, because now they're grown up, so I know they have to take care of themselves. And when the events were on the weekends, I had to be out even late nights. So my husband was taking care of them, and they were taking care of each other. So yeah, they've been a big support for me. And you need that, when you're in the business, especially as a mom, you need that support from your family. Because that there is a support, so you can be free to do things which you are passionate about. So I'm very grateful for that, that they are my biggest cheerleaders and my supporters.
Well, that's awesome. I'm excited about what you're going to be doing next. I think a lot of people need to understand. I want to cover four basic things that we talked about during the show. Number one, we talked about understanding your passion, tapping into that passion, knowing what it is. And a lot of times that's just getting in tune with who you are spiritually, so that it will show up in your life. It'll manifest itself in your life. But then we also talked about the necessity of self-care. Making sure that we're not in such a hustle mentality that our health is suffering.
Right.
And even that our families are falling apart, that everything is falling apart around us, but that we are trying to find not even a balance, but whatever the healthy thing is for us. Because what might work for me may not work for the next person. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that, all of you, because all of that makes up the totality of who you are. And even in that, make sure that when you're dealing with the emotional and mental side of things, meditation may not be for everybody, but find whatever that thing is for you that gives you permission to be.
Right.
To be in the moment, to be connected to whatever your reality looks like, and that will help you manifest those things in your life that you really want to manifest. And that's so key. I mean, I couldn't have said it better than what you did. That being able to manifest that is so very key. But then the educational part.
Right.
Understanding that we all learn from other people. We learn how to do things a certain way, and then we kind of put our own spin on it.
Right.
You know, we don't have to recreate the wheel.
Right.
We can go and sit up under someone that's already been there, already done that, and get those tools in our tool belt, get those skills so that we can go and serve, so that we can serve the ones that we have been assigned to serve, and be able to give them the wealth of our knowledge, what we've learned, and then the things that we picked up that are unique unto us, that may help someone else. And then the last part of it is understanding that you have to be happy with who you are.
Right. Absolutely.
It doesn't matter anything, you know, you can hustle, busy, do. But if you're not happy with who you are, you may have a successful business, you may have a loving family, you may be given award after award, but it doesn't make you happy.
Exactly. Like, at what cost? What is that success costing you? So you have to be very mindful of that.
And you know, there's one thing that John Maxwell says, who is a very popular coach. He says that there are these gaps that we do and that we fall into. And one of them is a knowledge gap, where we don't think we need to learn things, but we do. But then there's the law of exchange. And the law of exchange says that every time I do something that I want to do, I'm exchanging it for something that I could be doing.
Awesome. Yeah.
And so understanding that concept, you know, I run a business too. And in the midst of my business, I know that when I'm in the midst of that business and I'm doing what I'm doing, that's where my attention is. But I don't stay there always.
Right.
I spend time with my daughter and my sons and my grandkids. I spend time with my mom. I do those things that make my heart smile.
Good.
Because those are the things when I'm having a difficult day, those are the things that come back to mind, that puts a smile on my face and lets me know, okay, you can get through this. Go back to your basics. Go back to your meditation. Go back to your journaling. Go back to getting all that stuff that you allowed to pile up in your spirit out, so that you can have clarity, so that you can clearly get the downloads that are meant for you, so that you can move forward.
Absolutely. That's so important, because that is what is going to give you an edge in your business and the success. You know, the downloads which you get in the moments when you are present, when you're aware, and all these brilliant ideas will come to you, which will help you fast track your success too. So I am a great believer in that. And I just want to touch base on the meditation aspect, because I know a lot of people are not very comfortable with meditating. Like, they feel, oh my God, and I just cannot sit in one place and meditate. But you don't have to. There are many other ways when you can be present. For instance, if you have a commute when you're driving to work, or going anywhere, and you know you're going to be on the road for 30 minutes. So what you could do is just shut down all the music. Just be in that quiet space. Because when you're in that quiet space, your inner voice you'll be able to hear, because your intuition is that small voice, and it's only heard when there is quiet and peace. So that's one of the ways you can actually start listening to your intuition. And the other thing is, if you have some activity, like for example, if you're building like Lego toys, if you're doing some activity with your hands, you know how at times when you're so engrossed, if you enjoy the activity, you're so busy, your hands are busy, and that's the moment when you're so focused, you have that quiet in your mind, and that's when even you'll get those ideas. So do something which makes you which makes you involved in an activity. It could be like putting puzzles together, or as I said, building Lego toys, or if you're good with working in your garage with some tools and building something out of wood, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy and focused, those are the times when you'll be able to access your inner voice, your intuition, get those downloads, because that is what is going to let you know what your next steps in life are. And your soul, your higher self takes over, and it will guide you, and that makes your life beautiful. It's amazing.
So true, so true. I am glad that we had an opportunity to talk today, and that my audience got an opportunity to hear from you. One of the things that I want to make sure is that if people want to get in touch with you, we're running the information across the bottom of the screen. So she has her IG handle on there, and then she has her website on there as well. But in the meantime and in between time, if you came across an aspiring business owner,
Mm-hmm.
they're right there at the about to make the decision either to become one or not to become one, what
Mm-hmm.
would you say to them?
If they're aspiring to be in the business, I would say go for it, because I believe business is ultimately a spiritual path. Because when you go into business, you are going to evolve not only as a business owner, but as a person. And you will discover so many things, not just about yourself, but about life and the beauty around it. And I feel that's a wonderful thing to be in, like, starting your own business. So, yes, if you are aspiring to be a business owner, just go for it. You will be very happy.
Okay, well, that has been another wonderful show. I'm going to give you an opportunity if there's anything, last thoughts that you want to share with our audience.
Thank you so much for having me over here. And I'm very excited to be here and share my thoughts. And thank you, everybody, for listening. I would say that, yeah, whatever it is, whatever lights you up, just follow it. Even if you have any career, like I was a lawyer and I let go of that and I followed my passion. And I'm so glad I did that. I listened to that voice, and the way the events unfolded, I just followed the clues, I just followed, as you would say, the breadcrumbs, the trail. So yeah, just do that. If you want to switch careers and you're a little hesitant, I would say just follow your gut, follow that inner voice, and go for it.
That sounds wonderful. Well, everyone, this has been another fantastic show. We want to thank our guest for coming on today and for all of her words of wisdom. And we want to make sure that you understand that the ball is in your court. You have to decide whether you're going to pick it up and run with it or if you're just going to let it keep rolling past you. So it's really up to you, the direction that you decide to go in your own life, and with the tools that you know you have and the skills that are yet to be built up in you. So this is your girl Michelle with Girlz Talk Real Talk, because when girls talk, just about anything can happen. You all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.